the elevator that shouldn't exist. Peter pressed the button for the 9th floor. The building was quiet, the kind of stillness that seeps into your bones when no one else is around. His daughter, Lily, clutched his hand, her eyes wide and tired after her long hospital visit. Greg, a young maintenance technician with a tool belt slung low on his hips, gave Peter a nod. Nurse Lisa stepped in last, followed by Sam, a well-dressed stranger who glanced at his watch like it owed him time. The doors slid closed. The elevator groaned, then hummed upward. "Floor 9, please," Peter repeated softly to Lily. "Then we'll be home soon." Lily yawned and leaned into her father's leg. Greg pushed the button labeled 9. Lisa tapped her foot. Sam sighed heavily. Then the lights flickered. Once. Twice. Darkness. A heavy silence fell. The elevator creaked, then jolted. Everyone staggered, catching themselves against the mirrored walls. The lights snapped back on. The elevator was still moving, but none of the buttons were lit anymore. "What the hell?" Greg said, squinting at the panel. "Did we pass the 9th floor?" Lisa asked. Peter glanced at the floor display. It blinked. 10. 11. 12. "There's no 12th floor, Peter whispered. The others looked at him. He was right. The hospital only had 9 floors. There shouldn't be a 12. The elevator stopped. Ding. The doors opened. What lay beyond was not a hospital floor. A long hallway stretched in either direction, dimly lit by weak yellow bulbs. The air was stale, humming with static. Wallpaper peeled like dying skin. The floor was covered in brown carpet, soaked in places with something dark and sticky. The overhead lights buzzed, some blinking, others dead entirely. "This isn't right," Sam said, stepping forward automatically. "No." Peter pulled Lily back. "Stay inside." Sam turned to them, face pale. "There's something at the end of the hall, look." They all peered out. A shadow stood far down the corridor. Tall, twisted, motionless. Watching. Then it moved. The doors should have closed. But they didn't. Not until the shadow took one step forward, then another. The doors slid shut just before it could reach them. The elevator began to move again. But instead of the digital numbers returning, only one word displayed in jagged red pixels. Blood. The lights flickered again. The elevator jolted. Lily screamed. Lisa dropped to her knees beside the child. "It's okay, sweetie. We're going to be okay." "No, we're not," Greg muttered. "This elevator isn't going anywhere real." "I don't understand," Peter said. "This was a regular hospital visit. I've taken this elevator dozens of times." They stopped again. Ding. The doors opened. This time, it was a nursery. Old, decayed, the wallpaper flaking in floral patterns. Cribs lined the walls. Broken mobiles swung lazily. A lullaby played from an unseen speaker, warped and slow. A figure stood beside one of the cribs, a woman in a nurse's uniform, pale and stiff, her mouth open in a silent scream. Her eyes were wide, glassy. Her head jerked toward them as if on a string. Lisa gasped. "That's me." Everyone turned to her. "No. That can't be." Peter stepped forward. "I swear it, look. The badge. That's my badge." The nurse's figure stepped forward. The real Lisa screamed. The doors slammed shut, vibrating with the force. They didn't move. The elevator just waited. Then, without warning, the walls began to bleed. Blood oozed from the mirrors, from the seams of the panels. The floor squelched under their feet. Lily screamed again, this time in terror. Peter grabbed her and lifted her into his arms. "Make it stop," he yelled. Sam pounded on the emergency call button, but no sound came through. Only static. The elevator shuddered, then dropped. They all screamed, bracing for impact. But it stopped smoothly. Ding! The doors opened again. Black. Only black. And the sound of whispering. Whispers in a dozen different voices, pleading, mocking, crying. One word echoed over and over. Stay. Nope. Greg hit the closed door button furiously. The whispering grew louder. Make it stop. Peter shouted. Lily whimpered, Daddy, they want me to come play. Everyone looked at her. What did you say, sweetie? Lisa asked gently. They said it's my turn. Peter clutched her tighter. No one is taking my daughter. The doors closed. The elevator moved again, this time slower. The lights dimmed as if power was dying. The digital display blinked erratically. They were being dragged deeper, somewhere between space and nightmare. Then, ding! One last time. The doors opened. Light poured in. It was the lobby. The real lobby. Silence. Normal sounds, phones ringing, nurses walking, distant chatter. Cautiously, they stepped out. Peter first, holding Lily. Then Lisa, then Greg, and finally Sam. The elevator doors closed behind them. They turned. There was no elevator. Just a wall. No seam, no panel, no buttons. Just smooth tile, as if the elevator had never existed. Security guards found them minutes later, confused by their babbling, their pale faces, the blood on their shoes. No one had called for an elevator. There was no record of it ever arriving. Greg quit his job the next day. Lisa transferred to another hospital. Sam vanished, no one heard from him again. Peter took Lily far away, to a quiet countryside town, and never set foot in a hospital again. But sometimes, when Lily plays alone in her room, she whispers to someone invisible. And if you ask her who she's talking to, she'll smile and say, the elevator lady. She says I'll visit again. When it's my turn.